The same thing goes for this pink ball. As we can see, in this case I have named it as diver 1. This is the second element, diver 1. Here I have set this width to 100 pixels and the height is 100 pixels as usual. I have added a border radius of 100%. That will make this box into a ball. That will turn this box into a ball, as we can see. Position is relative. Now, in the previous case I have told you that I will be discussing what happens if we just discard off this position relative. So what I am doing over here, I am just turning this position relative, commented it out, and I am just pressing Ctrl S and getting back to our project and reload. So now we can see that this thing is practically not executing any kind of animation over here. It is not practically descending down from the top. All it is doing, it is just changing its width and changing its background color properties, but it is not coming down as it should have been. As we have seen in these cases, we have mentioned here that at the 25% condition from top, it will be leaving a margin of 200 pixels, and from at 50% keyframe position from top, it will be leaving a 500 pixels, and from top it will be again leaving up a total margin of 200 pixels at 75% keyframe position. But all these things, those things are absent over here because we didn't mention any position here, and as we didn't mention the position, the default value of position in this case will be static, and that is why it is executing a static position. All the thing it is doing, it is just changing its width and color attributes and nothing else. So to make proper smoothing animated things over here, that means if we want to make some movements, that means it is just descending down from the top or getting back to the top, or it is just circulating round through a path. In every case we need to mention this position relative over here. If we do not mention this position relative, it will be taking the default value of position static. So this is the thing that we need to change here. You see now, if I reload, it is again coming down into the last position is 500 pixels, as we have stated over there, and that is what it is executing over here. And in the second case, in diver 1 condition, you see that the animation name is changed over here. It is movement 1. In the previous case, we see that the animation name was movement, but in this case we can see this is the animation name has been changed over here. It is changed to movement 1. It is a diver 1. That means this is pink ball, which is actually being changed over here. And now we can see all things remains the same except in some minor changes over here. We have changed this animation name. We have set the time duration to 5 seconds. We have set the iteration time count to infinite. And now we have placed a cubic bezier. This is practically another kind of animation nature. We have previously known from our tutorial that there's linear path, there's the ease in or ease out or ease in out. Well, this is another animation property which is known as cubic bezier, and its minimum value is 0 and the maximum value is 1. That means you have to set your path in between the values lying from 0 to 1, and that is what I did over here. This is the highest value I have set over here. Practically this is x1, y1, position of a point along the x-axis. This is the position of the point along the y-axis. This is again the position of the point along the x-axis. This is position of the point, another point along the x-axis coordinate, and this is position. We are defining another point over here over y coordinate, and its value is 1. And this is the standard syntax that we have used over here, and it says that instead of left 0 top 0, we can see that in this case they are practically in the initial condition. This is practically the initial condition. The cursor here practically denotes the initial condition of this pink ball, and from this position it is first diverting to extreme right, then it is coming down, and then it is going to extreme left, and then it is ascending up. That means there will be a margin initially from the left position, then the margin will be here from left and top position. The margin will be over here from left, not from left actually, from top position, and then it will be ascending up into its previous position, which is 0 0 position. That means the x-axis and y-axis coordinate here will be 0 and 0. So all this is a coordination setting up over here, and that is what we need to mention in our syntax, as we can see. So at the 0% keyframe position, from the left it is 0 picks. As we can see, this is the initial position. And another thing, we have set a margin of 10 picks. That means from extreme left, extreme right, or from top or from bottom, it will be leaving a flat margin of 10 picks. And that is what we can see over here. If we just reload it, we can see that it is practically originated from over here, and it is practically leaving a margin of 10 picks from the left as we have set it over here. This is what it is denoting. It is just leaving a total margin of 10 picks from every corner. So that is why if we mean here left 0 picks, that doesn't necessarily mean that it will be starting from left 0 picks condition. We already said this margin from every corner is 10 picks. That means from left it will be leaving a total margin of 10 picks, and the animation will be starting over from the 10 picks position. So this is practically starting from the 10 picks position, as we can see over here. Now if we move back to our syntax, we can see that at 0% keyframe position, it is practically having a left margin of 0 picks, a top margin of 0 picks. That means this is the point of origination where x and y coordination is set to 0, 0. Then it comes about transform property. In this keyframe, the rotate command along the y-axis will be 0 degree. So this is the first thing that we have set in keyframe position 1. In keyframe position 2, that means at 25%, we may say that from extreme left it is leaving a total gap of 1000 picks. From top it is leaving nothing. If we check onto our browser, we can see that from here it is starting and it is diverting, it is just displacing up to this point. That means this is 1000 picks displacement from its previous condition along x-axis. So this is what we are denoting over here. We are saying to the browser that from left it will be leaving a total margin of 1000 picks at 25% keyframe position. But on the same time, at this keyframe from top, it will practically leave no margin, and the transform condition over here, rotate y, it will be 90 degree. If we look into here, we can see that it is practically making a rotation of 90 degree at this position. In the 50% keyframe position, from left it is practically leaving 1000 picks displacement. That means along x-axis it is just displacing 1000 picks, and this time from top it is leaving a margin of 200 picks. That means there will be a y-axis displacement of 200 picks, and the rotate y condition over here is set to 180 degree. That means there will be another 90 degree phase out rotation over here. At keyframe position 4, that means at 75%, from left it will leave nothing. That means if we see over here, this is the keyframe 4 position, and here it is leaving no margin from the left. It is leaving no margin from the left, as we can see over here, but from the top it is leaving a margin of 200 picks from its initial position, and the initial position is over here. So this is the top position, and from here it is leaving a margin of 200 picks. Here the margin, it is 200 picks, and it is having a transform rotation of 270 degree. That means another 90 degree phase out rotation has occurred over here. And in the last keyframe position, that means at 100%, from left it will be leaving no margin, from top it will be leaving no margin, and the transform here will be rotating a full revolution of 360 degree, as we can see over here. So this is all about keyframe animation. This is just about setting some keyframes and about setting some proper attributes over there, some changes in styles. In the next episode, in the next tutorial, all we are going to do, we are going to make some live coding, and we will be seeing how to code this CSS3 keyframe animation into stylesheet.css, how to apprehend these things into stylesheet.css. If you liked our video, do not hesitate to hit that red subscribe button down below. So I hope you have liked your video, and I hope that I'll be seeing you in the next tutorial. Till then, bye.